Welcome, and here we go again. Now, today on the show, I will be taking a look at Spearhead from space. The first story from the Third Doctor era on the, don't know what it is now, 7th, 8th, 9th, I don't know what it is. But it's the something number of random reviews we've done. Now, on the channel, on a Monday and a Friday, I have been uploading a review of a random episode picked out from a box and just giving my general thoughts on it. I'm going to try and do as many episodes as I can. I think it'd be a nice way to do these, to work through them during lockdown, and a nice thing to do during lockdown. And please feel free to leave your thoughts of the episodes I review below. Now, Spearhead from Space, what do I think of it? Well, I like Spearhead from Space. It's very good. That's the brief review there, but I'll expand on that. So it's arguably the story with the greatest amount of change in classic Who. It feels the most distinct from what came beforehand. The main reason for that is the colour and the fact that it's now in colour rather than black and white. And as well as that, it just feels so much fresher. It's got a new action type approach. The camera quality is different. There's a new Doctor, a new companion, the Doctor's exiled to Earth permanently. There's recurring guest characters at every story. There's a new title sequence, new music, new showrunner, new everything, and it's a very distinct era of the show from what came before and what came afterwards. Now, I love the Jon Pertwee era, and I think, personally, Spearhead from Space is one of the best stories from it. I thoroughly enjoy it. I haven't watched it for a long time, but I think it's a classic Doctor Who story. It's proper Doctor Who. Jon Pertwee, instantly great. I love Jon Pertwee's Doctor. He's probably my third favourite Doctor from the show, and he's just terrific in the role. Liz Shaw is great, a really underrated companion in my eyes. I really like Liz as a companion. She just feels unique for the period of time that we're in, and I like that. And she doesn't really get reflected on much, so I was quite pleasantly surprised when I watched Liz stuff and saw that. You may have heard a bit of a sort of crash there. That was because I fell. I fell a bit, but anyway, let's skim past that. So I thought, personally, the team were great here. Obviously, we get Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart make his return, and he's terrific. And we've got the Autons making their debut, which are terrific villains. Absolutely terrific villains. The scene in part 4 when the Autons attack the streets and they burst out of the stores, that's terrifying. I mean, that's like proper behind the sofa Doctor Who stuff. The Autons are very scary, It's rare for a Doctor Who villain, especially in classic Who, to be genuinely scary. But it is. These creatures, they've got these sort of plastic faces. They may not look creepy in stills, but the way they move and the way they look and the way they act, it's just really creepy. And I love the atmosphere that the Autons create. It's brilliant. I think it's been a long time since I've watched this story, and it's one I need to revisit. But personally, it's a near perfect Doctor Who story, I'd say, if I'm honest with you. It's rare for a story to get near perfection, but this one does for me. And besides some effects, I think there's some questionable effects throughout, and there's some weaker points in the story, but I think personally it's paced well. which I think is good. I think personally, the Pertwee era usually went with 7 or 6 parters, especially in the first series. So this 4-parter feels well paced and feels like very action packed and very energetic as well. You know, I think if you showed this to somebody who hadn't watched much Classic Who, I think they'd enjoy it because I think it introduces you to this era perfectly. So personally, I feel like this one has the perfect pacing, and the tone of it's great too. It's got a good fear factor about it. It's got a good threat, and I'll go into the effects thing a bit more because I don't think that taints my perspective of the story. It's just if I had to be nitpicky, some of the effects are a bit questionable, as they often are in the early days. I don't mind that. I think it adds to the charm of the show, and you know, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter, but it can sometimes be a bit distracting, especially for people who haven't watched Classic Who and are used to New Who. But I think this one is arguably the best starting point for Classic Who. There's episodes which are much better than this. I mean, it's not one of the best episodes ever. There's episodes in the Pertwee era which are better. But as a starting point, this is the best place to begin watching Classic Who, and the best place to get you involved. You don't have to know anything beforehand. It feels like that in a similar way to Rose and The 11th Hour and even Woman Who Fell to Earth, I guess. But it feels fresh, feels exciting. It's simple, but not too simple, and it introduces you perfectly to all the new characters. Personally, I love the whole idea of an Exile to Earth plot, and I think it's great. I think it really works in the Pertwee era. Jon Pertwee's Doctor is terrific, and I think it's great seeing him with the unit team. All the unit team are smashing. To my recollection, I didn't really see them a great deal in this one. I don't think Mike Yates is introduced till later on, but it's lovely to see the unit team and everything. In this era, and to see the sort of exile plot, if you like. Yes, it's great. Anyway, what do you think of Spearhead from Space? Leave your thoughts below. I hope you're staying safe during lockdown, and I hope you're staying well during these difficult times. And I'll continue to provide some videos throughout the week. Tomorrow, I will be doing something outside of the Whoniverse, which I think I will be doing on a Tuesday from now on. I think I'll be venturing outside of the Whoniverse. I'm trying to do videos every weekday, just to keep myself entertained and to keep you guys entertained if there's anyone watching still. So, yeah. And Wednesday, I will be hosting another random review, which is going to be good. I'm going to be broadening them out to 3 random reviews a week, and then on Thursday I'll be discussing something more general Who-wise, and then on Friday we'll have another random review. So let's select what random episode I will be reviewing next time. As I say, I've had about, I don't know, 12, where did I get that number from? 7 episodes so far, but here's the box. There's some episodes in here. I'm going to select one randomly. This is an intricate process. And I will be watching whatever episode this is on the slip of paper on Wednesday. Not watching, reviewing, but similar thing. Curse of the Black Spot. See you then.